All right. Uh, guys, all of you can hear me and all of you can see my screen. Can I get a quick confirmation?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Let's start. Without wasting much time, let's start today's session. Guys, today, as I mentioned in the yesterday's session, we discussed about what are the various areas SaaS will work. We also discussed about what are the various platforms SaaS supports, and we are also had a word about the ratios that or I can say that the percentage occupation of SaaS among the three operating systems, correct? And we also talked about the various SaaS tools we use as part of our work, correct? So what are the three tools that we mentioned? We started with number one, under the GUIs. The first thing we discussed was SaaS 9.4 or the latest version of SaaS. We can call this as PC SaaS, correct? Personal computer SaaS application. Otherwise, if you are using Linux environment or if you are familiar with Linux or even on the Windows, if you are looking for some sophisticated experience, in that case, I can go with SaaS Enterprise Guide. So we can call this as the SaaS EG, correct? Let's say, hey Murli, I'm the guy more of going with the web based because I have been working on the various REST APIs and all. So I'm the one who is more interested toward the web applications. In that particular case, you can go ahead with the SaaS Studio. All right. Or you can also use SaaS University Edition. So this is the free version which you can get it from the SaaS. All right. Generally, SaaS software is pretty expensive. All right. So for the learners, for the aspirants, SaaS is providing this software for free of cost, which is called the University Edition. But University Edition will not have all the features, right? It will be having restricted restricted features. I cannot say like, hey, you cannot do your work without your with your SaaS Enterprise Edition or with your SaaS University Edition. No, you can do it, but it won't support something called your SG plots or advanced procedures. It won't support. Okay, that's the only drawback. But in all other cases, you can also go ahead with that particular one, right? But as name itself is telling, this is a SaaS University Edition only. It is defined for the students, not for the enterprises. Okay, so we will be toggle between these two. Either we use SaaS 9.4 or we can go with the SaaS Enterprise Guide. So in our course, we use both because some of I can say that if you are working for an organization, 90% of the time it is going to be SaaS Enterprise Guide because you will be working with the Linux. Some of the organizations, what they are doing is, compared to the SaaS Enterprise Guide, SaaS Studio will be economical. I can say that when you look at the operating cost compared to SaaS Enterprise Guide, your SaaS Studio will come from the less cost, right? The license cost is less. So they may prefer to go with the SaaS Studio. But remember, SaaS Studio and SaaS Enterprise Guide more or less look same. I'm going to show you that today. More or less. One is web-based, the other one is going to be application one, but still the look and feel, the way you're going to navigate, everything is going to be same. Some organizations still prefer to go with SaaS 9.4. Let's say if you are the one who is working on the mainframes, in that case, you will be left with no options rather than using the 9.4 because you have to go with the virtual machine. When you go with the virtual machine, PC SaaS is the most convenient one, right? So I'll give you the overview about your SaaS 9.4. I'll give you the overview about your SaaS Enterprise Guide and also for the University Edition. Okay, or I can say simply SaaS Studio. All of you, any questions on this? During the weekend, guys, just have a word with Balusa, right? So get the software, make sure that you have everything ready. And from Monday onwards, we are going to start with the regular batch. I can say that you can consider these three or yesterday's and day before yesterday's class, one demo and two classes. You can just consider this as the free of cost, or I can say that this will be, you can use it as the multiple demos to take a decision whether to continue or not. But I'm requesting you from Monday onwards, we'll be going with the full throttle. So requesting every one of you, whoever would like to continue, just inform Balu sir, get the software ready, just keep it in your PC, make sure you have installed in that, and you are completely ready for your session. That is for the classes, right? And also
Balu,
ensure that, sorry,
sir, wanted to ask, Balu sir will help us with the software installation, right?
Balu sir, sorry, your voice, could you please maintain some distance from your mic?
I was asking, Balu sir will be helping us for the software installation, right?
Yes, software he will provide. So he will share the Google Drive link with you guys. You can download, you can keep it ready. So he'll also provide, he will also do the installation for you. Suppose if you have difficulties in the installation, he will take the remote control and he will do it for you. Both of the things he will do. Installation is pretty straightforward, guys. Just like you are installing any other normal application. You don't need to do any fancy tasks.
Okay,
All
sir.
right? Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Right. And make sure that all of you share your numbers with Polisar and request Polisar to just create a WhatsApp group for the batch so that we can do all the communications. For an example, today is the classic example. I missed it, right? But if we have the WhatsApp group just like others, just you can ping me there. I could have responded, I could have joined there immediately. Correct. And also if any doubts are there, if anything, if you want to share, you can just simply take a screenshot and share it across with me, and I can reply even on the WhatsApp, right? One of the easiest way of communication for everyone. If you feel like, hey, Murli, WhatsApp is somewhat, you know, in some territories it won't work. In that case, let me know. We can also go ahead with the Slack channel. Slack also I can use, but Slack I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with. So let's go ahead with the WhatsApp. If you are familiar with Slack, let me know. I can create a Slack channel as well. All right. That's all about your communication part. Okay. So any questions here, guys? Anyone? Yeah. I'll be opening all the three tools at a time. So I'm just going with SaaS Studio, SaaS PC SaaS, also with the SaaS Enterprise, right? All the three. And I'm going to explain one after the how the look and feel is, what are the various windows are there, each window, how it will be useful for you. I'm going to explain everything. All right. So before I take that particular part, guys, let me know if you have any questions. All of you are clear? No questions at all? Okay, so I'm assuming that no questions because I don't get any response. All right. So first, let's start with your SaaS Enterprise Guide. So whatever the version I'm seeing here, maybe the SaaS Studio banner is still there. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. It takes little time and it won't go off as well. So first I will start with SaaS Enterprise Guide, and then I will go with VC SaaS, and then I'll go with the SaaS Studio. All the three things. Okay. So now let's go with the SaaS Enterprise Guide. So all of you are able to see here, right? All of you are able to see my screen, and you can see a red dot also. I'm just using a highlighter, which is a red dot. All of you are able to see that?
Yes, Murli.
Perfect. Perfect. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The first thing here you can see, guys, just like any other, I can say like operating system, or sorry, any other tool. This tool is specifically designed for the Linux initially, specifically designed for the Linux environment. But over a period of time, the services are also extended to the Windows environment. Okay. But in the Windows environment, it has the limited scope. That is nothing but it will work only on the local server. So if you are not familiar with the server stuff, don't worry. It's just like how you are using your PC. If you're going with servers, that is nothing but from the same Unix machine, you can connect with the multiple servers. Server is nothing but another, just in a simple term, just understand that it's another location where you have different paths. In each path, you can store your data. You can store the data or you can retrieve the data. Just think in a simple way. Right. Now, if I come on this, you can see there are multiple windows. This is one window, whatever you can see here, project 3. This is one window. There is another window have here you can see called servers, and the third one, a very big one here, right? This is going to be a project space or workspace, or you can also call it as the where you can see the entire process flow. Whatever you can see here, the same you can see in a different way. I'll show you what is the difference. The task status at the down, it will show that what is the task? Are you performing any task? If yes, what is the status of it? If you're performing multiple tasks, if you fire, which task is executing now, and what are the tasks which are pending? All those things you can see here. Sometimes you may tend to work on more than one server in the Linux. That will be called as a grid environment. So I don't go too much into that at this particular point of time, because some of you might not familiar with what is called this grid, how it will be maintained and all. In a simple word, I can say like, all of you know what is called power grid. We all use power grid, right? That means to say indirectly. So what is power grid? I can say that it is a common place where multiple substations or multiple powerhouses are connected, right? Where the distribution of your power is going to be happen, correct? Electricity will be distributed based on the needs, correct? So when I say SaaS grid, I can say pretty much same. Let's say I have 4 servers with me, nothing but let's say you have 4 PCs with you. You connect all 4 PCs together, right? Let's say someone has given you 2 tasks, or let's say someone has given you 5 tasks. You assign one task to all 4. So there is one more task pending, right? Out of these 4, the initial task that we have assigned, whichever PC completed the task earlier, to that particular PC, we are going to assign the remind task. That is, we continuously monitor the balance, the load balance on your connected machines. Whichever machine is free, in that particular machine, we are going to assign the new task. In that way, there will be always load balance, and there will be always equal distribution of your load across all your servers. That is the whole concept of grid. So when you connect it to the grid, you can see here under the server tab, let's say you have 4 servers, or if you have 5 servers, in which server your given task is running, to see that you have these servers. Able to understand, guys? Is it little too much? If you feel like, hey Murli, this is something new which we are not familiar, also let me know. Not an issue. This is not something that you need to digest right away, but if you're able to follow this, that's more than sufficient. Questions, guys? You guys are able to follow?
Yes, Murli.
Yeah, perfect. Right. Now let's say out of this is the place where I can find, that is under the process project tree, I can have all my programs placed. For an example, if I want to create a new program, can you see file? In the file, I can click this, I can go to the new, either I can create a new project, or I can create a new table. Data is nothing but a table, or I can create a new program. That is what our SaaS program is, or I can create some report, or I can maintain a note of it, or I can maintain the order list. That is bit, you know, all these features are not available in the other SaaS, I can say PC SaaS, right? For now, just on a lighter note, we want to start a program. So let's start with creating a program. The moment you want to create a program, you can see there is a blank space available here. This is the place where you can write all your program. You can save it, or without saving also you can run it. On the left hand side, the moment you say program, you can see there is a process flow created. Under the process flow, you have the untitled program. You can call it as a just normal program, right? So here you can type whatever you want. For an example, I want to type this as an introduction class. I can say SaaS PG introduction. So now I want to save it. So I just go with Control S, or I can simply use this, that is file save as. Now I'm just going with my desktop. In the desktop, I'm just calling this as SAS intro. I'm just giving the name of the project, right? Name of the project. You can see here. It is going to get stored as enterprise guide. You can see .egp here starts name as the entire. I'm not only saving the program, I'm also saving the entire thing, which is you can see it on the screen. I'll tell you what I meant. Now, if I want to rename the program, I can rename it. This is my first program. Let's say I want to go with another program. Just go with another. Here you can see here also I can create the program or whatever you want. Instead, either I can go with file and I can do this, or I can start from here and I can also create it. So this is my second program. Let's say program 2. Then all of a sudden I say that, hey, this entire thing I want to rename. Let's say this is my module number 1. So this entire process flow, that is module number 1, has 2 programs. One is intro program, the other one is program 2. Let's say I just created one more, but whatever I have created here, let's say I'm just typing something here, some random stuff, and while saving this, where it is, save program as this particular one. Either I can create it in my PC somewhere, I can do that, or here I can create a new process flow. To that new process flow also I can drag this. That is, let's say I'm just going with a new process flow here. Under the new process flow, I can create all my programs. Now we can see. So this one, module number 1, all the programs which comes under module number 1, I can put it here. And all the programs comes under the module number 2, I can put it here, and I can keep adding. So if I say module number 1, you can see all the program list. If I say module number 2, here is the program list. If this program executed, for an example, I'm just creating something. Let's say data test set SAS help.class and run. I did something here, correct? The moment I run this, one table is going to get created. You can see the table is created. I can also see it in the log, but how to read the log and all, I'm going to explain, don't worry. Now, if I go to the module now, can you see this? The process flow indicating that you have created an intro program. The intro program is creating a data set called test. You can double click it, correct? Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to take the test program here. I'm just writing some program. Don't worry about what I'm typing and all here. We can discuss all those. I created something here. Now if I go to the module, I can see intro program has created test. By using the test data set, I just gone through the program number 2. In the program number 2, I have created something called testm. Again, what I'm going to do here is, in the same program, I'll write some more. Right, some random program I have typed here. The intention is it's supposed to create another data set. It has created. Now if we go to the module, that is process flow, and you can see here under the process flow, I can see where it is. I can see there is a table called new created from testm, correct? So program 2 has created this. Now if I run all these together, And if I go to this, now you can see program 2 actually created two data sets. One data set is new and another data set is test.yml. But test is the data set which is created in the program number 1. like this, at any point of time, if you want to see what are the various programs that are created, and in each program what are the various data sets that are created, if you want to see a list of all those, I can use this particular one. Make sense, guys? I don't know, like I'm not asking you to either you can understand this completely or what. I'm not asking that, but on a whole, are you able to manage how the look and feel of this particular one is? That part I'm looking at. Now you can see I have created two tables and I have also created one of the report here. Correct? So intro program created one table, program 2 created two tables and one report as well. Am I correct? Right? So here the advantage of your SaaS Enterprise Guide is you can create programs, you can also create the process flows. Now let me explain each one of this. This is nothing but your program window. Like you can see it on the screen. This is the place where you can type and you can execute your program. To execute the program, you can see there is a button called run. The moment you click on this particular button, your program will be executed. Okay. Second, once the program is executed, there is an immediate window here as log. You can see this is the window which has the detailed log. You can see this is the program that I have executed. As a result of it, I'm seeing the log here. If any error is there, if any warning is there, all the things I can see. There is also, I can also see something called log summary on the top. Click on it. The log summary is going to give the task status. For now, I don't have any errors. I don't have any warnings. So I'm pretty much cool. If I don't do that, let's say that if this is not the case, if I have some errors, for an example, let me do some error here. Now you can see it is saying that the statement is invalid or it is out of proper, it is not a proper order. You can see that I have one error, I have one note, and I have warning. I need to worry about the warnings. And you can also see here, now if I go to the log summary, I can clearly see how many errors are there. If I want to see only the errors, I can see. If I want to see only the warnings, I can see. If I want to see all of them, I can see here. Is it easy now? You can see the log summary saying that I have two errors, I have two warnings, and I have three notes. Notes is something like the execution. What happened there? Error is something which you are not expected. Warning is something which you are not expected, but it won't stop your process flow. Error is something that you're not expected and it will stop your process flow. It will stop your execution. All of you are able to understand how to see your errors and how to see your warnings and where you can see all these details in your log window. Correct? So far we talked about two. What are them? Number one, this is your editor window. Editor window is the place where you are going to run your job or run your program. Once you execute it, to see whether the job is successful or not, to see whether the program is successful or not, you're going to see that in your log window. Once your log is there, generally in SaaS, two types of outputs will be created. Number one, the output in form of a table, output in form of a report. If I create a table, if my output is a table, right away it is going to create a new output window here, and the name of that output window is called output data. You can see this is the table. Right away, if my output is going to be the output of this particular program is going to be a table, then output window will be created. For an example, the output is not going to be a table. It's not going to be a table. Now we can see I don't want to run the entire program. I want to run only this selected piece. I can go to here, I can go here, I can go to the drop down, and I can simply select run selection. Only this piece of code will be executed. Now you can see it is not creating output window, it is creating a results window. Why? Here is the answer for it. So I generally SAS create two types of outputs. If the output is a table, then it will be navigated to output data window like this. If my program is my output of my program is a report, it's not a table, it is going to be a report, then it is going to create a results window. So if it is going to be a report, then I'm going to have the output in the results window. So far all of you are clear? So how many windows are here now? The first is going to be a program window. This is where you are going to write your program and you will execute it. Log is the window where you are going to see your detailed log. Output window if the output is going to be a table. Results window if the output is going to be a report. Is that clear? Up to this all of you are clear? And here I can see project tree. Here I can add all my your programs. Any questions up to this? Are you comfortable?
So, Murli, basically we discussed about the editor window, log window, output window, and all that set, right?
Sorry, in the other session you're talking about or no?
No, I mean,
Okay.
so far we thought
That's it.
also.
So far log window, which is nothing but the program window, which is nothing but your editor. Log is a log window where you can see your detailed log. Results if the output is a report. Output data if the output is going to be a table. Clear up to this? So these are, I can call it as type of outputs that we produce. So generally there are only two possibilities. Either you are going to create a table as an output or report as a output. So you can see something called on the bottom here, bottom left hand side corner, you can see something called the recent task. Suppose if you create any task, here you can see I can also create the task. That is bit advanced at this particular point of time, so I don't prefer to explain that here because the tasks are going to be like a specific requirement meet. Later we can talk about it, later we can discuss about it. Second one is going to be your profiles. This is SAS folders. If you want to create some SAS folders specifically for you, that because this is a Linux environment, so whatever the generally your enterprise guide will be used for the Linux. In Linux, every one of us will be having one profile. That is, it will say what is your username is, what is your password is, what is your home folder is. Home folder is the place where you have all your details. All right. If your SAS is installed in such a way, if you have your profile selected here, if you have your profile created and selected here, here is the place you can see your metadata. So what is this metadata? What is this SAS folders related to the metadata? We can discuss at the end of the course. That is nothing but here. When we discuss about the miscellaneous topics, I discuss that. This is the one you always need to remember. The center one, which is nothing but your servers. Under the servers, since I'm using Windows, I can see only local machine. Suppose if you are using Linux, right? Here you can see multiple servers which you connected with. Suppose if your profile connected with two servers, let's say something called app1 and the second one is going to be app2. Two servers are connected, right? And then I can say that those server names will be also displayed here, just like your local, your to what and all the servers you connected, all those servers list will be available here, right? Now let's say I just go to the first one. Again, I can see two things. One is libraries, another is files. Files is the place, this is nothing but your I can say your explorer. So this is my PC explorer, right? Can I say if I go to this PC, what I'm going to get here, my entire PC, I can explore starting from here, correct? I have my C drive. Within the C drive, I have my file system like this, and I can navigate to each file system and I can continue, correct? The same Explorer, you can find it here. You can see C drive, just now whatever I have mentioned, and desktop and document. This is nothing but your Explorer. So in whichever server you are, in that particular server, it is going to be your file explorer. Okay. Then I can see libraries. Libraries are very specific to SAS. So what is this library? What is the importance of this? What are all the various libraries I need to take care of, or I need to aware of? This and all we are going to discuss in the module number 1. There is going to be a separate topic called libraries. That is nothing but how to create a library, what are the existing library, what you called as user defined libraries, when to create user defined libraries, what do you mean by temporary library, what do you mean by permanent library. All these kind of stuff we are going to discuss in the module number 1. For now, I'm not going deeper in this particular session. So overall, 3 windows, or I can say 4 windows, starting with, let's say if I go with SAS Enterprise Guide, one window, I can call it as a program. This will be my editor. Here is the place I'm going to write my program. Number 2, I'm going to have log window. Here is what I can see, detailed log. Number 3, I'm going to have output data window. Correct? This is the place, this is something like if my program output is a table. If the program output is table, I'm going to have it here. Number 4, I'm going to have a results window. This is if my program output is a report. Clear? In addition to this, I'm also going to have my process flow. So process flow, this is the place where we can arrange all programs that we are going to type, whatever the programs that we are going to write, all programs in order of our choice. Correct? Whatever the order you prefer, in that order you can create. And also I can say we can create multiple process flows as well. Correct? That's what we discuss here, right? The other thing is going to be, we need to be a bit cautious about something called servers. This is the place where I have again 2 things. Number 1, libraries. I can say specific to SAS. And then I'm going to have another thing called files, which is nothing but my Explorer. Anything else you want to talk, guys? I think I have pretty much covered all the things that we need to go with. So servers, I'm pretty much interested in the servers, that too in the libraries and files. I have the process flow and I have my, what to say, yeah, program window, log window, output data window, and results window. These are all specific to your SAS Enterprise Guide. Now, let's go to your PC SAS. Sorry, let's go to your SAS Studio. Guys, can you see pretty much same? Have a look. I have a code. I have a code here. The code is nothing but my editor. Now you can see. This is the place where I'm going to type my program. Right? Now you can see if I execute this, here is what submit program. I can submit this. It will get executed. And you can see this is my log window. So as usual, log is going to be the same, I can say. Log is the place where I have the detail log. And now you can see output data. If the whatever the output of this particular program is table, it will automatically go to the output data. Since it's a table, it will go to the output data. So this is going to be the same again, right? And then I have results. Let's say, let's work on one of the program where I'm going to generate the report. You can see this is a report. Let's do this here. See this carefully. Now I'm into the code window. This blue color one will be automatically shifted to the results after the execution. Something called error, because I don't have a file called test.test_em. So I'll just go with the other file here, because we created that in the program one. So now you can see the output is going to be the result. So I don't have output window now, only the results window is there. In the results window, my output is there. So I can say that the first 4 windows which I have in the enterprise guide is pretty much similar to what I have in my what to say, SaaS Studio. Am I correct? Questions, please. Hasni.
Sir,
Go
is
ahead.
there any process flow in the studio? Process flow, like you,
No,
yeah, on the left side.
you don't have it. You don't have it. There is only one thing called this. These are all servers, other kind of stuff. You don't have it. See, process flow is only if you have a project, right? I can create a project here, but not here, right? I can do one thing. Instead of this, I can do one thing. I can create a shortcut like this. Within the shortcut, I can keep all my data. Let's say if I have 4 programs, 5 programs together, I can save it at one place and I can call that entire folder here. That is possible. That is possible. For an example, let's say, and right, this is the program actually. What I can do now is I can just right click on this one here, right? I can go to create. I can say create folder shortcut, right? I can name it as, let's say, test or est. Done. So now you can see every time when I want to do it. So I know that all my programs are here. Can you see? In that way, you can create a folder shortcuts here, right? But you cannot create a program process flow, or you cannot create a project flow here. That is not possible. You mean to say
Okay.
what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, you can keep all your program at one place. All your programs, you can keep it at one place, and you can create a file shortcut for that. That is possible. All right. And then, so tasks and utilities, which is pretty much same as this. You can see the tasks, and you can also have snippets. That is, you can create some snippets. What is called snippet? Here also you can create the snippets. I'll tell you how to create a snippet and all, but which is not required. That is too, if you are lazy enough to write a simple piece of code. If you want to type something, the moment you type it's supposed to create a piece of block for you, a piece of code block for you. In those cases, you can go with the snippets. But snippets are not, I don't say useful, but I can say that not required. But anyways, if you want to go ahead with that, I can also help you with how to create the snippets. Libraries, pretty much same. So whatever the libraries are there, the same libraries is also available here. File shortcuts, just now I mentioned, we can create it, correct? So now I can go back here. I don't have process flows. Instead of servers, I directly going to have libraries, correct? And I can have all my files explorer. Yes, the files explorer is there, but the name of that is going to be a files and folders, correct? Can I say pretty much same here and there? I can say almost same, not completely, but most of the similarities you can find between your SaaS enterprise guide and your SaaS studio. All of you accept that?
Sure.
Any questions? Yeah. Now let's move to PC SaaS, Windows SaaS. This is what. So here you can see almost same thing, but you can see editor window, correct? editor is the place where you are going to type your program. So editor name itself is editor. Then second, you can see log. So log remains going to be the log. Number 3, output. This is somewhat peculiar. I'll tell you what it is. To explain this, what I can do is, I'll just go to my PC SAS first. I'll copy some piece of code. I just pasted here. Let me, you can see, right? I know the, what to say, the font is too very small, but when we go to the classes, I can increase it. Maybe even now I can do it. Just give me a second. Better? Right. Now you can see, if I run this, I don't get any, I don't know whether it has run or not. We don't have any clarity. But if you go to enterprise guide, if you run something, it will automatically take you to the further windows, right? If you error, it will stop at log. If the output has come, it will either redirect to the output window or to the results window. The same is the case with this also, correct? I run something, first it will go to the log. If there are no errors, what is the output it is creating? To that particular output, it will be navigated. But if you go to the PC SAS, you don't have that facility. So after you complete your program, if the program output is not a report, then check your log first. It is saying that I don't have any errors, correct? I have only notes, no warnings, no errors. Cool. Then I don't see anything in the output. I'll tell you why. But if I want to see the output of my this test, go to Explorer. In the Explorer, can you see something called libraries? Go to the libraries, check work library. Here is what your output is. Can you see? Test is the one that you have created. Your test is in the library, correct? I can say I have two things here. What are them? Number one, my output data will not be created directly. Instead, I have two things. Number one, I'm going to have a window called Explorer window. This Explorer window has, this is nothing but a normal Explorer, right? A subdivision of that is nothing but my libraries. Under the libraries, you are going to see if my program output is a table, I'm going to see that under the libraries. Is that clear? First thing. Then you can ask me, Murli, then why this output is all about? What is this output is all about? So if you create a report, for an example, I'm creating a report here, right? Now the report, if I'm creating some report, what happened? Oh, test time data is not there. Same problem. Let's say if I create some report, then you can see my output by default will go to the results viewer, correct? If my output is going to be this, then the output will be automatically redirected to a place called results viewer. Okay. Right. And then you can also see something here. The moment your results are creating, you can see here under the results window, there is a new window here called the results window, correct? Let's say number 5, which is going to be a results window. This results window will be having tree of all reports we generate. So now I created one report. What is that report? I used a proc SQL and I have created something here, correct? Then let's say I'm going to write something else. Let's say proc print data is equal to this. This is the second report that I'm generating. My output will be go to the results viewer only, you can see. But you can also see here, I have a track of what I'm doing. The tree is created and I have the track of what I'm doing here. But that will be used only for the procedures, or I can say that it can be used only if my output is a report. Can you see? My outputs are keep loading into the results viewer, correct? And also I'm having a track of what I need. In some cases, right? Oh, sorry. In the preferences, can you go to the results here, right? So by default, what it is doing is, this option is available from SAS 9.4, guys. Before SAS 9.4, before SAS 9.3 up to SAS version 9.2, I don't have this option. You can see view results as they are generated. All right, use ODS graphics. This one I don't have. Let's say if I go with the create listing and if I run the same, I'll tell you what it is. Can you see now? Your data is not creating here. It is not going to the results window at all. Let me close it. My output is actually coming to the output window. Correct? If you are using older versions of SAS up to SAS 9.2, the default thing is in the output window. I have one more window called output window. This output window is the one which is going to have your results. That is, if my program output is a report, by default it will come here. But what happened is from SAS 9.3 onwards, that is any version higher than SAS 9.2, by default in your preferences, you can see tools, options, preferences. In the preferences, under the results, where my results should come, if I create now, let's say that for an example, hey, don't create listing, view results the moment it generated, use your ODS graphics, right? If I select these and if I run my report now, right, let me clear this. I just clear this one. You can see the output results is empty. If I run this now, my output is creating in a results viewer and you can see that my output window is blank, right? You can always toggle between how you want to see your output. You want to see your output of your report in a separate window called a results viewer. Yes, you can see. Or, hey, I'm not interested to do it. I want to see all my output in a classic way. Just print everything in the output window. Yes, you can do that as well. All of you are able to understand what are the various windows we have in your SAS 9.4, that is your SAS PC SAS, your enterprise guide and your SAS studio. Now you guys decide and tell me which one you feel efficient. Or this is purely personal choice, guys, purely personal choice. Every developer has their own preferences. So according to you, which one you think, so which one you want to follow? You want to go with enterprise guide or you want to go with your PC SAS or you want to go ahead with the SAS studio? Which one you want me to go with?
Actually, can I ask one thing? In real world, which one is most of the company what they are using, or what is the company preference?
I told you. So this is not a company preference. Okay, let me tell you again. There are a lot of things involved, guys. So
Okay.
let's say working for a company and let's say 90 sorry, majority of the companies falls under Linux followed by mainframes. These two are the two operating systems where your SAS codes will run, right?
Yeah.
For an example, if you are using, you know, your what is that, mainframes, you left with no other options rather than using the SAS 9.4, or you can go with SAS studio. So between these two, which one they prefer? let's say if your organization is, you know, developer centric, meaning they want to give the benefits to the developer irrespective of the operational cost, then they will choose SaaS 9.4, because compared to SaaS 9.4, your SaaS Studio is least expensive, but features wise, the other things wise, it is easy. So if your organization feel that, hey, why can't I give SaaS 9.4 to my organization, guys, they can give it. But if I don't generalize in that way, most of the companies follow Linux, so obviously it is going to be SaaS Enterprise Guide. It is just look and feel, guys. The program, syntax, everything remains going to be the same, because this is the window where you are going to type it. Your program is going to be same. Here also you can see the same program. Here also I'm writing the same program. Here also I'm writing the same program. Program wise, there is no difference at all, right? Execution wise, there is no difference at all. But where the outputs are generating, how the logs are creating, only there the look and feel wise they are changing, except that everything remains going to be the same. The program wise, everything remains going to be the same. The differences will come to the picture only where the look and feel is all about. Okay, I'll tell you something, guys. So I worked for the organizations, right? Let's say one of my previous organization, they don't have PC SaaS, they don't have Enterprise Guide, and they don't have any other tool. They have only SaaS Studio. You need to go with your secure shell, that is nothing but your Linux PuTTY environment. In the PuTTY, you need to run all your codes and everything. If you want to test something, if you want to see your code, you can go with your SaaS Studio and you can do it. Some organizations follow that. Let's say one of my previous organization, the other one, they don't even have PuTTY. They don't have access to the PuTTY. They don't have access to the any other editor. They don't have access to the WinSCP. They don't have access to the File Explorer. Only thing we got is Enterprise Guide. Whatever you want to do, you want to schedule something, you want to do whatever you want to do it from your Enterprise Guide. Do it from your Enterprise Guide. Some organization, let's say I worked with one of the organization, their mainframes is there. So instead of going to the PC SaaS Studio, they have given the Windows environment. Under the Windows environment, we have your PC SaaS. We can connect remotely to the mainframes by using rsubmit and endsubmit. It is organization specific, but generally, majority of the organizations go with the Enterprise Guide. We'll
Yes,
do one
sure.
thing.
Yeah, I think that will be my preference, as you mentioned. Let's see the team says.
Yeah, we'll do one thing. We'll go one module. Let's say 4 or 5 classes we go with Enterprise Guide. 4 or 5 classes we go with 9.4, or 4 or 5 classes we go with the SaaS Studio. Whichever you feel like good, we can go with that. Anywhere the same effort remains going to be the same. So where you want to, which one you want to choose is up to you. So you may decide after a week, you may decide after 2 weeks. That's absolutely fine. Clear? I'll go with all three so that you will be comfortable with all three. Then we can choose, we can stick with any one of it based on your preferences. Then we can continue the classes on the whichever the tool you prefer, right? So the decision can be taken later. That's the reason I have gone through all the GUIs. Clear?
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
thanks.
one week Enterprise Guide, 1 week SaaS Studio in that way, so that we'll get a clear idea of all the three, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I said. 5 classes means we have a week 5 classes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions from anyone? All right. So technically, this is about, you're giving the introduction to the GUIs and all. So have your installation ready, have your software ready with you. Monday, that is coming Monday, that is on 25th, we are going to start with the programming part. That is nothing but I'll give you the introduction to the terminology. So far, if you see, we started with, I just put everything here. So first day we start and discussed about the course content and the project details. Second day we talked about what are the various interfaces and where the SaaS will run. And today we discussed about among the given 3 tools, which one or how the look and feel is all about. So So the next thing is going to be programming introduction. That is nothing but where we'll start discussing about programming. How to write your SAS program, what is called keywords, and how to see the errors, how to see the logs, all the related information we are going to see. Right? Questions? Any questions from anyone, guys?
No, that's fine for me. Thanks.
We are
Okay,
good,
then.
Munir. Thank you.
Perfect. Then let's connect on Monday and we can continue with the programming. Then. See you guys. See you everyone.
See you. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.
Thank
Bye bye. Thank you.